Why on earth would Howard Schneider treat his children's patients like this? Was he simply a sadist who received some kind of pleasure targeting the vulnerable? In court, it was argued that it might have been done simply for financial motives. As stated before, Schneider was the only dentist in the area to accept Medicaid. This naturally attracted poor parents, aka clients who would have more difficulty fighting back. This would explain why previous accusers settled out of court, and previous action was never taken. In those last 5 years of practice, Schneider received $4 million in Medicare reimbursements. And remember, he'd been operating in that area for over half a century. According to the lawyer who represented the families in the civil suit, Medicaid was paying him per tooth. This would explain why he would unnecessarily pull out so many teeth. He noted that if Schneider capped a tooth twice then pulled it out, he could successfully obtain benefits for all three. Though only 60 families were involved in the suit directly, it was alleged that Schneider potentially had thousands of victims. In regards to his mistreatment of kids, the dentist refused to speak to the Department of Children and Families. Throughout the entire situation, he maintained his innocence. He stated that he didn't worry about the allegations because he knew they weren't true, but the impact he had on the community spoke for itself. One commenter who lived in the area summarized its effects on the local discussion as really crazy. They wrote, "This story broke a couple weeks ago locally, and since then adults have been coming forward with their stories of what he did to them when they were kids. Many of them thought they had false memories because they were so outlandish it couldn't be true. Everyone I know has a story about a friend or coworker who went to this guy as a child and was traumatized." Unfortunately, this story doesn't have a happy ending. In February of 2018, the charges against Howard Schneider were officially dropped. It wasn't because he was found innocent, but rather due to his deteriorating mental condition and old age. The dentist was found too incompetent to stand trial. Because of this fact, it's unlikely that he will ever face real punishment for his crimes. Though many have argued much of his staff should have been held accountable as well for sitting by and allowing children to be mutilated for financial gain. Howard Schneider is many people's worst nightmare come to life. A man who preyed on not just the unfortunate, but also the most vulnerable of society. And even if it were driven by profit, his treatment of children was horrific. Many wondered if he was always this bad or over the 5 decades of practicing became worse over time. The only thing that can be said for sure is that he traumatized hundreds, if not thousands of people for their entire life. At the end of the day, he voluntarily forfeited his medical license when the suit began, but as he was in his late 70s, he was likely already going to retire anyways. He had already made his millions and faced no charges. If there's one thing to learn from this video, is that if you're ever going to entrust someone else with your health, make sure to do some research beforehand. And with that thought, I'll end the video here. So until next time, thanks for watching.